Hey everybody, Coach Sean here. Hope all's well. I'm just reaching out. We're so excited. Coach Tom and I are about to launch our virtual training called the 90-day Breakthrough Sprint. We know this is world class. It's about getting world class results for you, the athlete, whether you're a junior competitive player, an adult competitive player, recreational player who's looking to get great results. It's for you. As long as you're in love with tennis and trying to get better, this program built around the ACE system is just simply without compromise an amazing world class program, and it's guaranteed, right? So what do Coach Tom and I generally find are the problems when it comes to young athletes and what's happening in their world? There's really three that we see, right? Number one is confusion, right? Too many voices. You get into an academy environment and you have, 15, 20 coaches, even 2 to 5 coaches, and they all have an opinion on what should be done and how it should be done. And when you're on their court, it's one way. So you get confusion as a student, right? And then you have your parents talking about you should be doing this because they watched a YouTube video, and you're just trying to play tennis and get better, right? So one problem we see is confusion in message and what needs to be obtained or done on the court in order to achieve the goals you're trying to achieve in a clear manner, right? Um, the current situation may not be producing the results that you're hoping to grab or get, right? So you're not seeing the measurable results. You're not seeing the progress happen fast enough, right? And again, there's sometimes when that exception is in your head, how fast you should be. Like I'm 8 years old, I should be world number one. It's not going to happen, right? But there are some things that you should be seeing as you practice, and you want to make sure that you're measuring them so you can have accountability to yourself, to the coaching program, to make sure that you're moving ahead as planned, right? All this can then lead to, and we see this usually around a 16-year-old level, right? The burnout and stress, right? Oh my God, I can't do it. I'm not moving up. I'm not getting any better, right? The player starts not wanting to go to practice as much or doesn't have the same enthusiasm in practice, right? They're starting to burn out. The stress is there. They're starting to worry about college because they're not seeing the improvements, right? And of course, mom and dad might be thinking, well, we wasted a lot of money on this. You better keep going, keep pushing, right? Get better, right? And we'll do whatever it takes. And sometimes the stress is also on the parental side. Like they've spent a lot of money here and they're wondering, oh my God, little Johnny or little Sally's not making it to where we wanted to go or where he wants to go, right? So what did we do wrong? And the stress comes from the parent side as well. Well, at Rocket Warriors, our sister program, the Score Tennis Academy, is been designed 100% A, as a community, right? And then B is to provide this virtual training, right? It's just a 90-day breakthrough sprint. So it's a 3-month sprint where you're working with Coach Tom and myself virtually, right? We're going to teach you how you can win more, how you can achieve measurable progress in the first 90 days with us, right? Without wasting years on coaching that doesn't deliver, right? And I'm not saying you don't have great coaching because you probably do. The issue is of the things we talked about above, right? So there's other things that compromise that. And here you're going to have 100% accountability to the metrics that you're trying to accomplish, right? So what do you get in the program, right? It's a 90-day program that we're going to work with you one-on-one. You're going to have access to us in multiple different areas, but it's one-on-one program, right? So in the core offering, and I should have bulleted that, but in the core offering, you're going to get a personalized 12-week roadmap. So on call one, we're going to understand what your goals are, where you're trying to get to, where you are today, right? And we're going to build a 12-week personalized roadmap to help you get to reach your goals, or at least move you in the right direction towards your goals, right? Because if you're sitting at 9 years of age, you're not world number one next week, as I mentioned, right? So what's the first progress? Where do we have to be? We're going to give you a crystal clear picture on what to do and how to train. Okay. Weekly, we're going to sit down together and we're going to review tape, film, whether it's practice or match play tape. We'll have an analysis baked for you, both technical and tactical. On the technical side, we're not going to here to overwhelm you. We're going to give you 1 or 2 key tips that you can go practice on to allow you to get better throughout that week and improve whatever little challenges you may be having from a technical perspective. On the tactical side, we'll be working on a few things there as well to help you win more points in a match, allowing you to win maybe more games and then eventually more sets and so on and so forth, right? So step by step through the process. We're going to work with you on the next ball mindset, right? And so that's not just us. This has come from years of study from both Tom and I, understanding how the best athletes in the world work. It's leveraging work from Dr. Laura. It's leveraging work from Professor Dweck, using work from my mentors, right, and Coach Tom's mentor, Heath Waters, on CPPT, which is circular prioritized process thinking. It's a combination of multiple factors that allow our athletes to become the best they can mentally. And you're going to hear as your career goes along in tennis that tennis is 90% mental. It is, right? So we want to give you the tools that allow you to get in there and fight and be mentally prepared for each and every ball. As I say, next ball, right? ROI scorecard. I think this is tremendously important to keep us accountable to you and what you're trying to get accomplished, right? So we're going to track obviously the UTR, although in 90 days, you're not going to see a 5-point UTR increase, right? But we want to track the UTR, make sure it's tipping up in the right direction. We want to look at win percentages. We want to look at serve percentages, look for improvements there. We want to look at the reduction of unforced errors, right? Make sure you're hitting your targets and reducing the errors and having the margin it requires to win at the highest levels, okay? So that'll all be covered and captured and documented. We will need your help in this section because we can't record your matches. You have to do it. If you send us a fully recorded match, we'll track it, right? A recovery and load plan. This is important. A good friend of mine, she was top 33 in the world a while ago. She actually had Serena. What'd she do to Serena? She beat her at love twice on Serena's serve, right? So Serena didn't get a point on her own serve against her at the U.S. Open one time. Anyway, she was saying as a junior, she did the 4 hours a day, full academy training, right? She's a great player. And but at the end of the day, as she looked back on her career, she goes, you know what? I would have taken maybe an hour off a day, maybe an hour and a half, and spent that on recovery and training to help my body be prepared for what it's going to go through as a pro, right? And so nowadays, I believe that D1 and high D2 and even some D3 colleges, if you're playing number one and just using the academic component for D3, you have to be at a pro level physicality, right? So your body needs to recover. It needs load planning. It needs to be ready to react and respond when you need it to. So it can't be overworked simply on the tennis court all the time. Okay. So we'll develop a plan of action for you there as well, so you can train smarter on and off the court. And I think this is tremendously important, right? You're not alone. We have built or are building a community that's got like-minded people who are going to share goals and share tennis stories, and you're going to be accountable. So inside this particular program, right, you're going to have access to the Racket Warriors community. You're going to have access to the program's own WhatsApp team channel. So you'll be able to share, concerns and questions, not only to us, to Tom and I, but to your team, people going through this at the same time as you, right, in the WhatsApp channel. So there's accountability built in. Coach Tom and I will answer during business hours, of course, to make sure that you get what you need. And if you're playing a tournament, we'll make exceptions to that as well, especially if you're playing over in Asia or in Africa or something like that. We'll make sure that your questions are being answered. Don't worry. Okay. There's also a bonus stack, things that we want to make sure that most people don't see or get, right? Or if they do, it's very high level. We want to go into the weeds a little bit here to give you the documentation, right? So we've created a match day command kit. What does that look like? And most of you who are probably interested in this course have done this before. You've played at 8 in the morning. You have to turn around. You have to play at noon again if you won. And then you may have to play doubles at 5 o'clock if you're in the double side as well. So you may end up playing like 3 matches in a day. How do you prepare for that, right? You don't have information around your second match and who they are and what they do and how they play unless you played them before, right? So how do you prepare? How do you prepare mentally? How do you prepare emotionally? How do you prepare from a hydration? How do you prepare from a calorie initiative, right? How do you get the right calories in there to make sure you have the right fuel sources, right? So all that's covered in the match day command kit, right? College recruiting. So this is for the juniors. These next two are really for the juniors, right? College recruiting starts in grade 9. And here's what I tell everybody. There's a school for everybody. If you want to play college tennis, there's a school for your budget, for your academics, for your tennis level. There's a school for everybody, where you want to play. Okay. So it's important. We go through the step-by-step process, about a 7-step process on how you can make sure that the recruiting goes smoothly. So when you get to grade 12, 3 or 4 schools that you wanted to go to are negotiating with you if you haven't already signed. Okay. Parent confidence pack. This is, to me, one of the most critical spots in the area. There's no guarantee that your parents are going to look at it, but it's in there for them. This is how to be a parent of a tennis player, how to make sure that you are there to support them in the right manner and that you have the tools to allow them to become their best on and off court when it comes to the tennis side. So the Parents Confidence Pack is, I think, a necessity. I've seen a lot of kids' tennis career go off the wayward path because of a parent who's doing the best they can out of love, but just happening to destroy the confidence of the player or interfering with what we're teaching or what's being taught by another coach, right? So you want to make sure that the parents get into the confidence pack and they understand exactly what their role is and how they can leverage it. The plateau breaker. This happens to everybody. Everybody's heard of a plateau. This is a plateau mini camp within inside the actual courses for this program. And I see this over and over again. An athlete gets to a certain level, they kind of plateau, and they don't get any better, and they get frustrated, and sometimes they get worse, right? And so it's being able to break through that plateau. What do you got to do? What are the tools that you need to break through that plateau? And I'm going to be honest with you. If it's on purpose, sometimes you're actually going to go down because you're changing something in your game, right? But once you get through that basic, whatever it is you're learning that you need to work for your game, it comes back up and it goes above that plateau that you were at last time. So you break through, right? So there's a mini camp that we're going to have inside of the program for you starting November 1st. Power and patterns playbook. And this is really, let's be honest, this is about the patterns, right? So learning what the best tactical plays are that are being leveraged by the best players in the world today, how they're doing it, what they're doing, what their real targets are. Because you'll hear things like, hey, second serve is all kick. It's not. Most second serves are slice body backhand, and now even moving towards slice body forehand. You will see the kick on the out wide on the righty, right? And you will see kick. Don't get me wrong, right? But just statistically, it's actually more slice body forehand, I believe now. I'd have to check my stats, but yeah, forehand. And so you're going to learn all about the patterns that the best players in the world are using, and that's changed. It was backhand, right? It was slice body backhand, and it's changed. So statistically speaking, we have the stats, we track them all, right? And we'll be able to pass those on to you, and you'll be able to copy with the best players in the world. So that's the patterns playbook, right? The value of this whole package is $8,500, and I don't think I'm lying. Yes, these are made up prices, but I don't think I'm lying in the value that's in there. Like it's exactly what I think we'd be charging for each one if we sold them independently. Okay, so what does that look like? Well, the core offer value is $5,000, right? So that's for the one-on-one training, working with us on the phone, having access to us in the WhatsApp, us tracking with you the daily metrics and the monthly metrics, right? The bonus stack, which we just talked about, is a value of $8,500. That's a total of $13,500 for those two components if you bought them individually, right? Your price today is $2,000 for the 90 days. So working with us for the 90 days, it's $2,000. We can break that up over 3 equal payments over the months. And here's what I think is critical, because a lot of people can speak and say, oh, it's $2,000. That's a lot of money. Well, to some people, it's a lot of money, right? And so you want to make sure that you're not wasting it, right? So we wanted to put a guarantee in. Listen, if for any reason, you do not hit success rates in your goals as we move forward or towards your goals, we'll give you back your money. No, sorry, we're not going to give you back your money. I apologize for that one. We're not giving back money. Unless you really, really want to back say, hey, we don't like working with you. Of course, we're going to give you back your money. But here's the key part. We are going to coach you for another 90 days for free. Because our whole claim to fame is that we're saying that this system works and it works quickly if you do the work, right? So if you go out there and do the work, you will see an improvement or your UTR tracking in the right direction. You'll see your serve percentage going up. You'll see your reduced the number of unforced errors happening in each match. And for those, again, who are beginner, you'll see your 2+ wins in a match. Or for those of you entering the ITF realm, you'll see 2+ wins in qualifying, moving towards main draw, right? So you're going to see the upside fairly quickly. That's why we're confident enough to give you the full money back guarantee. And by the way, I did say it up front, if you don't like working with us, if for whatever reason, I don't care, you didn't find success in this program, I will give you back your money. We'll refund your money because we don't want you to be unhappy with us, because we know that the program works. We know that you'll be successful if you actually do the program, work what we're talking about, you will be moving in the right direction. So for whatever reason, call it unconditional, we will provide your money back. If it's just a thing you have, it's not moving fast enough, we'll just coach you for another 9 days for free to get you there. Okay. So now, having said that, there's just two of us. There's Tom and I currently. So there's only limited spots, right? We've done the math on our time. We figure we can handle about 12 and a half kids each, right, over the course of a month, 90 days, excuse me, and that's 25 seats per cohort, right? So the next sprint, the next 90-day sprint starts on November 1. When it's sold out, it's sold out. There's no getting in. That's all we can handle for time period, right? So between our full-time jobs, coaching, and so on and so forth, that's what we can handle. And so that's it, only 25 seats, okay? When it's gone, it's gone. How do you apply? Either in a link below this posting here, there'll be a link to Racket Warriors. Racket Warriors is free. Just come in there and join, and message us saying, "Hey, I want to join the program, Coach Sean, for your 90-day program," and we will get you in. Or Coach Tom, we'll get you in. Now, if it's already sold out, it's already sold out. Sorry, there's no extra spots over the 25. So don't wait. Get signed up. Get ready to go. There is an application process. Not everybody gets into this course. If you're not ready to do the work, if you're not ready prepared to set your goals, if you're not ready to go after those goals, it's just not the timing for you. That's all, right? So not everybody's going to get into the course. So if you're interested, you want to apply today, let's get you set up. Let's get you ready for November 1st. We're looking forward to having you.